What's up, Jumbo Gang?
Starting to make predictions, baby.
Trust no bitch, these bitches be cheaters, these bitches be hoes. Can't love no bitch, these bitches be eaters, they fucking my bros. And I get to that dog, which why my gang.
What is up, YouTube? This your boy Sabo back again with another video, man. It's been a minute since I did a reaction video. I've been trying to lay off the reactions because I be getting flagged and all that other shit, man. Cause I had a little channel back and a little minute ago, like a year ago, they took it down cause some bullshit. I don't even know, but I'm reacting to the video today, you know what I'm saying? Cause I ain't want to vlog them today, you know what I'm saying? So today I'm reacting to she cut off her father's penis.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Tragic story of Brigtte Harris. I think that's how you say her name? Brigtte Harris. Alright, so without further ado, let's just get into the video, man. Let's go, man. Let's not forget who created this shit, man. Let's not forget who created this reaction shit, man. But let's get into the video, man. Queens, New York. Hey, I actually stay in Queens, bro. That's crazy.
Pretty much classic July weather, looking at warmth and humidity and just small rain chances on the way.
I ain't gonna even lie. These New York broads, they are crazy as hell. So, I couldn't expect it. You know what I'm saying?
Little after 1 p.m. on the 28th of July 2007, police officers and paramedics were called to a third-floor apartment in Rockaway, Queens.
That's where my homeboys stay. You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy.
Found 55-year-old Eric Goodridge on the floor. He was handcuffed. His mouth was stuffed with a towel secured by duct tape. The police checked for a pulse. There was none. He was dead. At first, the officers couldn't figure out how he died, but they soon realized something was missing.
Something was missing. They wilded.
It had been cut off and was nowhere to be found.
Damn.
There's a lot to this story. Viewer discretion is advised. Brigtte Harris was born on the 6th of June 1991 in Staten Island, New York, to parents Eric Goodridge and Lucy Ann Harris, who immigrated from Liberia to the United States. Eric had several businesses, including an import-export company, a record store, and a travel agency. Lucy already had 2 children and went on to have 4 more with Eric. However, when Brigtte was born, Eric denied she was his child.
Damn.
Eric was no longer satisfied with his home life, and eventually...
I ain't gonna lie. That kind of bring out some child trauma. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure everybody can have a situation like that. Everybody can what you call it? I forgot what you call it. Everybody can in this situation, everybody can relate. Can relate to this. You know what I'm saying? Father, you know what I'm saying? Not really accepting the fact that that's the person's, you know what I'm saying? But damn, why she cut off his penis?
Left the family for another woman. Lucy, now left with 6 children, struggled to raise them alone. And in 1983, when Brigtte was just 2 years old, Lucy left her 6 children and returned to Liberia to attend her grandfather's funeral. However, as she didn't have a green card or citizenship, and despite leaving 6 children behind, she was not allowed to return to the US. The 6 children bounced around from foster home to foster home. Brigtte and her siblings eventually moved in with her father and his wife. However, in 1990, Eric took a temporary job back in Liberia, which extended for several months.
Okay.
Eric's wife grew tired of him and filed for a divorce. The children were sent to live with their aunt, Eric's sister, and grandma, Eric's mum, in Providence, Rhode Island. Bridgette's grandma was described as mean and hateful and didn't have an ounce of love in her body. She showed favoritism and treated them like slaves, while
Usually that usually happens when, you know what I'm saying, when they don't have, when like, that's not their kid, you know what I'm saying, that usually happen, that's usual, you know what I'm saying, that's crazy though. It seems like she's going through hell right now, you know what I'm saying.
and sat around doing nothing and would beat them severely for the slightest thing. On one occasion, someone had forgot to flush.
They kids though, they kids, bro. What you want them to do?
And left a big turd floating, which Bridgette got the blame for. Bridgette's grandmother went berserk, grabbed Bridgette by the collar and stripped her naked. Bridgette had no idea why she was in trouble. Whilst her cousins watched, her grandmother took a stick and beat her so hard it split her skin.
Damn.
You would think that was enough. However, her grandmother wasn't satisfied with beating and bruising Bridgette. She went on to tell Bridgette to bend over and poured red pepper sauce into her butt. Then continued to cover every part of her split skin in pepper sauce. On another occasion, her grandmother, again angry with Bridgette, threw a phone and hit Bridgette in the mouth and broke her front tooth.
Damn.
When she took Bridgette to the hospital, she told her to tell the nurses she had fallen off her bike. In February 1994, at the age of 12, Bridgette...
First off, where's the person like talking, getting this information from? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy though, like, where is she getting this from? This is wild. What the hell? But also this shit be happening, so what the fuck?
Liberia and reunited with their mother. Bridgette was excited to meet her mother as she believed she would now receive genuine love and acceptance. However, she couldn't have been more wrong. After about 2 weeks, Bridgette and her siblings began to feel ignored. Bridgette soon came to the realization that her mother didn't care. Bridgette contracted malaria and was in hospital for 2 weeks. Her mother didn't visit her as she said she had a church revival to attend. Once again, her mother abandoned her.
Damn.
And Bridgette was again living with relatives. However, living in Liberia was a culture shock for her and her siblings, as Liberia was going through a civil war that worsened in 1996. Somehow, Bridgette's mother got documents proving her children were American citizens and they were airlifted back to the US. Once back in the US, Bridgette again bounced around from relative to relative and ended up in a women's shelter.
A shelter out here is really common in New York, man. Like, it's a lot of people going through the shelter process out here, man. Cause like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard, like, it's hard to live out here, but her going through this at an early age is crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? Your father not even like, he don't even want you at this point. You bouncing from house to house, you know what I'm saying? Shit crazy.
Also traveled back and forth between Liberia and the US. Eventually...
And it's crazy because like a lot of people come from, this the first place they come to, New York, this the first place they come to when they do it. You know what I'm saying? This the very first place they come to when they go to the US, like the Africans and stuff like that. That's why so many Africans and a lot of other people, this the first place they gotta come. That's why New York is so big and it's so hard to make it out here, bro. I promise you, it's crazy.
2007, Bridgette finally found a place of her own with no one to answer to. She had made new friends and was working as a security guard in JF Kennedy Airport and was no longer in contact with her father. Not long after moving into her apartment, her father, Eric, called. Bridget had no interest in talking to him and told him to lose her number. Eric's health was failing, and in June of 2007, he returned to the US to seek better medical treatment. His daughter Carleen allowed him to stay with her. Bridget wasn't happy that her father was now living with her sister. Carleen tried to convince Bridget to forgive their father as he was trying to make amends. Although Eric was a well-respected entrepreneur in his community, behind closed doors, Eric was a monster. He had put Bridget through years of he would pretend to play games with her by bouncing her on his knees.
Wow.
Then go on to perform acts that...
Is that a pedophile? That's some pedophile type shit. What the hell?
Hero should ever have to go through. This animal first pet his daughter Bridget at the age of 3. Then at the age of 4, he forced her to perform on him. The continued throughout her childhood and into her teens, becoming more and more violent over the years. On one occasion, while Bridget was in Liberia, he hid her passport so she couldn't leave and refused to return it. Bridget told her mother what Eric had been doing to her for years. Lucy decided to tell a pastor that Eric had been in her daughter, but nothing was done. This God-fearing man, this pastor, looked the other way and suddenly became unavailable due to his busy pastoral commitments. Eric was a well-respected businessman. They didn't want to believe that he was a monster.
Hey, that's usually how that shit go. You will never know, like, how much of a person is until you really figure them out, until you really see type shit. You can fool everybody else. You know what I'm saying? This person is a well-respected this, but really, you really gotta get to know that person type shit. Like, you don't really know what that person really be doing behind closed doors. He probably was molesting her. That's crazy.
He fought him off the last time he tried to her.
What I say?
Whilst fighting
What I say? That's crazy.
Off, he dared to ask Bridget what was wrong. Bridget, now older, left Liberia for the last time and distanced herself from her father. However, she did feel some remorse as she had left her younger sister behind and knew he was her. She also suspected Carleen had been However, when Bridget talked about it, Carleen would change the subject. But now he was back in the US and wanted to make amends. Bridget's sister Carleen invited her for a family dinner and told her her father would be there and that he wanted to apologize. Bridget agreed to attend the family dinner and took a 2-hour subway and ferry ride to Carleen's home in Staten Island. Bridget arrived. This was the first time she had seen Eric in years, and she was immediately angered by what she saw. Eric was bouncing her niece on his leg just like he used to do to her as a child.
Hell no. Oh, hell no. Hell no, dog. Hell no. Get your child from him immediately. I wouldn't even have my child around him if I know he raped her, bro. What the fuck? Hell no.
Not only did she find that disturbing, but her father announced that he wanted to take Carleen's daughter back to Liberia. This triggered Bridget. She was furious. She couldn't let this happen. She loved her nieces and refused to let what happened to her as a child happen to them. Bridget and her sister argued. She didn't trust Eric and couldn't understand why Carleen would agree to such a thing.
I wouldn't trust him either.
However, in Carlene's mind, he was an old, sick man and didn't believe he would do what he had done to them growing up.
You shouldn't have did it at
Bridget's
all.
mind was now flooded with flashbacks of an abuse she had suffered by Eric and other relatives. He had to be stopped. Bridget wanted to go to the police and report what Eric had done to her. However, the statute of limitations had passed. She searched the web for a solution and came across the case of Lorena Bobbitt, a woman who had cut off her husband's as she claimed he had.
So this where this came from. Wow. So this where this came from. This is crazy. He was dying anyway, so I don't even see the reason why would she do this. Like, I mean, I see the reason because she got raped, but
So for years, Bridget knew what she had to do to stop Eric. On Wednesday, the 25th of July, 3 days before she would see her father again, Bridget set up a camcorder, aimed it at herself, and
she recorded this shit? Oh,
audio.
nah.
She said, "My name is Bridget Harris, and this is the story of my life. Well, not the whole thing. It will take too long. Just the summary reasons. Why I'm doing what I'm about to do. Why I feel I have to do it. Why it must be done. Why I've waited this long to do it. And so you can judge me. But before you do, get the whole story. That's all I ask."
Right.
A few days later, Bridget invited her father to her apartment. She wanted to talk to him about the years of abuse he had put her through. She wanted him to know that what he did to her was not okay.
Not at all.
As a child, Eric had always...
Especially when you're around, like, you know what I'm saying, like these people that's not really, they old people, but that you not their child, you gonna get treated a certain way. So I can relate to that shit, you know what I'm saying? Being bounced from house to house, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit crazy, like, shit wild.
to convince her that what he was doing was normal. And this is what all fathers do to their daughters. Bridget told him
Go to fucking ads.
She remembered the first time he hit her.
What?
His response was, "How do you even remember that when you were only 3 years old?"
Cause that shit hunts you. That shit hunts. Like, I don't know, like the stuff that hunts you from when you was a kid into now, and you still remember that shit. That shit stay with you. That shit. When you get scarred from a child at a young age, that shit stay with you, bro. And I know y'all can relate to that shit. I know y'all can. She finna. That's crazy.
Fuck. Bridget began to get angry. He didn't appear shocked by what she said and didn't deny it. Bridget also spoke about when he forced her to have at the age of 4.
Oh, sick.
Eric began to make excuses and was not admitting to what he had done, which was pissing Bridget off. She eventually told him that she had invited him to her apartment to ask him not to take her nieces to Liberia. She told him she knew his intention and he needed to stop. And since he wanted to make amends, here was his chance. However, Eric denied ever doing anything wrong. Bridget was now in a rage and screaming at him, calling him a liar and telling him that he knew what he had done. Bridget realized that he was not going to change and knew her nieces were in danger. She was going to stop him one way or another. She was going to take away his weapon, and that weapon was his... Bridget was...
What? What? Wow. That's crazy.
Sure he would never hurt a little girl again. Eric got up and took a step towards her. Bridget pulled out her pepper spray and sprayed him in the eyes. They fought and fell on the floor. Somehow, Eric passes out. She looked for a way to restrain him. She found some handcuffs, a novelty she had bought after her friends teased her about her job as a rent-a-car. She put them on him and noticed he was having trouble breathing. She was in a total panic now, scrambling for a way to revive him. She splashed him with some water and started calling his name. He woke up and started screaming. She decided she had to gag him. She got a towel, stuffed it in his mouth and wrapped duct tape around his head to secure it, leaving large holes so he could breathe. Brigette pulled down his pants. She used scissors at first. When they didn't work, she looked for the scalpel she had purchased from eBay about a month ago. To keep him still, she pressed her knee on his windpipe. One cut was enough. To her surprise, there wasn't much blood. Brigette knew that the doctors would try to reattach it if found, and she didn't want that to happen.
Whoa.
She brought her father's to the stove and turned on the flames.
Whoa.
The smell of burning flesh brought Brigette back to reality. She turned the stove off, put the burnt organ in a paper towel, and called 911, but hung up as she realized she had to leave the apartment first. She picked up the scalpels, pepper spray, scissors, and pills and put them in her backpack, left the apartment, and then called the police. Once again, Brigette hangs up before providing the 911 operator with further information. Police and paramedics arrive and perform CPR, but it was too late. Eric was pronounced dead at the scene.
Damn.
Upon further inspection, they found that Eric's had been cut off.
Damn.
A scalpel was located next to the body, which was determined to be the weapon used. This was not the cause of Eric's death. Eric had been gagged with a towel secured with duct tape, exposing his nose and eyes. However, the gagging reflex little by little grabbed the towel to the back of his throat, which cut off the airway to his nostrils. The cause of death was asphyxiation.
Damn.
2 notes were also discovered at the crime scene. One said, "He wrecked my life." And the other said, "At first I blamed myself. Now I know it's not my fault." Once again, 911 dispatchers called Brigette and informed her that they needed her to come to the police station. Brigette agreed and told them she was a block away, but didn't show up. Instead, Brigette walked past the police station towards the Broadwalk Pier and threw away. She called her sister to tell her what she had done and that she was about to hand herself over to the police. Carlene told her not to go to the police as she feared she would never see her again. Carlene immediately stopped what she was doing and went to meet her sister. When she arrived, Brigette was in a daze. Carlene reached for her sister's hand and noticed blood covering both hands and her lap. Brigette had used a scalpel to cut her wrist. Carlene immediately called 911, and Brigette was admitted into Richmond University Medical Center psychiatric ward for 3 weeks, and then placed under arrest.
Damn.
Within 36 hours of the murder, Carlene had hired star defense attorney Arthur Adela. She told the world that both she and Brigette had been victims of a father who had regularly and repeatedly both of them from a very young age.
That's wild. Like, why would you put a child through that? Like, it's crazy.
By cutting off his genitals and murdering him. Tonight, the other sister, Carlene Goodridge, is...
It turns out there is one scent that a woman just can't get enough of on a man. One.
Is taking a brave stand against her dead father.
Monstrous man.
Preyed upon her. George Harris's sister says she knows it's true because she also suffered a childhood of being by her father.
Story is yours. The only reason I can talk about this now.
Look at her. She look damaged, bro. Like, she look damaged. She look damaged, bro. Like, she look like she can't even breathe right now. And it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? She look like she been through so much. You know what I'm saying? She probably be the one that told them this story type shit, so. Shit crazy, bro.
I'm gonna help my sister. She needs help. Myself, it started at about 4 years old till I was about 12 years old. For my sister, probably about 3 years.
And I think no child and nobody should be put through that. You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy. That shit is wild. Like, damn.
1 sec.
Serious, bitch. Get the fuck off. Get the fuck off. We having a.
She was going on 18. So she was going on 18. This was
A sister breaking her silence today in a bizarre case of family revenge. A case that isn't what it seemed.
sadly she dealt with this for so long by herself when I was right there. And I went through the same dark thing with her and did nothing.
What the evidence is going to reveal here is that Bridget Harris was the victim of regular and systematic by her father from the age of 3 years old right through young adulthood.
Do you think she just broke down?
We don't break down. Of course you break down with something like this. We broke down a long time ago. At this point,
Why would you even ask her why she
her
broke
cries are loud and clear. You know, she needs mental help. She needs to be heard. She needs to finally deal with, in a healthy way, what she's going through.
Anyone who's been involved in the criminal justice system, as long as I have, and anyone's a New York City person, you can tell that she's someone who's calling out for help.
And as the case will soon be heard by the courts, her lawyer wants to make one thing clear.
My father was a monster, and living with a monster from the age of 3 is something that you just don't recover from without professional help.
However, some family members publicly refuted claims of abuse and disowned Bridget.
First of all, family members, y'all is part of the abuse. They is a part of the abuse. So they can't even, I mean, the family members that she stayed with, you know what I'm saying? They put them on you, so you should help them. Am I right? Am I right? Y'all let me know. But anyways, man.
For family members who communicated with her.
As they left court, Harris's family cast doubt that her father abused her.
I don't think her father molested her. Even if he molested her, she had all rights, all many years to get up and do something about it or say something.
2 years after her arraignment for second-degree murder, Bridget went to trial in September 2009. Testifying in her own defense, Bridget stated that she had researched the 1993 castration case of John and Lorena.
And I ain't gonna lie, she had like a, it's hard though. It's hard, bro. It's hard. You never faced some shit like that. So you can't, you don't know. You don't know what's going through in the kid mindset. You know what I'm saying? So she can't even say shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's hard, bro. She been through too much.
Bridget argued that her motive for the killing was not revenge, but to take away his weapon, an act to prevent Eric from taking his grandchildren to Liberia and most likely them. However, prosecutors maintained that Bridget's actions towards her father showed premeditation. On the 30th of September 2009, the jury found Bridget guilty of the
in the dark right now because I'm editing. I'm gonna put the full link to this video below. I just had to get this vid out, man. You know what I'm saying? The grind not gonna stop. I'm gonna have some more reactions. Everybody just stay tuned, man. I got a lot of stuff coming on the way. Yeah, stay tuned, man. I'm busy right now, but stay tuned. Just stay tuned, man. We're gonna get to that 100K real soon, for sure. But yeah, man, everybody like, comment, and subscribe if y'all want the reactions to come back. And we'll be back.